When it's done properly, I've seen just how impactful tutoring can be. We want every single minute of a lesson to be highly productive.
You can really focus on what's great about a subject.
I have such a laugh with so many of my students, and I think there's a rapport you can build in one-on-one tutoring that you just couldn't have in a classroom.
The more I learn about different people and the more I have to adapt my teaching styles, the better teacher I become. And that's really why I'm here, because I'm interested in teaching, I'm interested in how people learn, and I want to learn about that.
One of the great satisfactions has been bringing the team down to quite a small group and having a team of professional tutors who are far more committed to tutoring.
Central to Keystone's ambition is to improve the quality of teaching and learning. And at the heart of this is a training programme for professional tutors.
Ed has actually designed a tutoring programme of training. So he's taken the educational research, boiled it down to the topics that are highly relevant to tutoring, and then he's leading our professional tutors through this training programme.
As a full-time tutor, we have lots of opportunities with training, with analysing our own teaching, with having our lessons observed.
I find the training sessions they have at Keystone really interesting. Watching another tutor teach can be fascinating, or having someone comment on your teaching style.
One of the things that often characterises self-employed tutoring is that very well-intentioned tutor who turns up at a parent's house with an old past paper sticking out of their back pocket, and they don't have in mind a scheme of work, a programme of study. So our materials are programmes of work.
The preparation is very, very thorough, and the degree of expertise from the tutors is second to none, in my opinion.
There are resources that we use that are in-house resources that have been developed specifically for the particular things that we teach.
I really feel as though I work for this company and that I'm a part of it, and at the moment I'm helping write some of the materials for the 11+ course, which I find really interesting, and it's definitely informing my tutoring.
Our clients know that firstly we're going to be more dependable because we can commit to the long term, so we're able to concentrate on them exclusively. And also we've got a lot more experience.
Every tutoring job varies to a huge extent. Very often there's a problem either with academic self-esteem or with a specific academic problem that requires individual attention.
The boys had been in a Steiner school and were about to join a conventional independent school in southwest London, and so we had to find a way of preparing them to join that, to make that transition from alternative schooling to conventional schooling.
It's up to us to listen to those problems, to do so in a respectful and hopefully cheerful and optimistic way.
When you call Keystone, you're likely to speak to one of the client managers. Our aim is really to find the right tutor for your child.
So we take down all the important details, particularly what they're like, what kind of tutor you think they'd respond particularly well to.
The key is the match, making sure that the tutors that we put forward fit the description of what the clients are looking for.
Within days, the process had started up, and things began to happen in a really good way. It was this whole term of the boys having the best fun, and yet at the same time working incredibly hard and learning so much without them even realising it was sort of this effortless process. They're tutors that they know and that they feel confident with, and they're there when we need them.
You know, a parent has that sense of reassurance that that tutor is not only going to be there for the full academic period that the child needs, but also that we're constantly trying to improve ourselves and looking at new methods and coming up with new materials and better ways to teach. Not only do you get a long-term service, you get a service that's constantly improving.
We're taking tutoring on a step now. Our tutors are more equipped. They are reflecting more on their practice, and as a consequence, they're developing at a much greater pace.
There's a buzz here you don't get anywhere else. And I think that a lot of it has to do with young management, vision and energy.
If you call Keystone, you can be assured of a service which is always very optimistic about your child's abilities and their potential as well, which is ethical, which says clearly what we can't do as well as what we can, and which will seek to provide a tutor who is as well prepared and takes their tutoring as seriously as you yourself take your child's education. And that service will then be maintained by an office team that share all of those same virtues, which will always be there at the end of the phone to help in any way we can.